Guess what time of year it is? That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment, and it's spooky season. I know that by the time this video actually comes out, it's going to be well into October because of the way that my shooting schedule is. I've been prepping for this since March because I knew personally that hot girl summer was just not going to be a thing for me. And you know what? 2 people in my family got COVID, so I was right. But you know what it is? It's spooky season, fall, monster effer fall. It's too early, okay, in the video for me to start swearing. I did Swell Slashers September, and it was just a random thing that I decided to do in August. And then I remembered last year, I think the first week of September is when I did my Halloween costume video. So this works out. I just took my time with Swell Slashers September, so I know this is coming out in like the middle of October, but that's fine because then hopefully me actually dressing up as a bunch of slashers will actually do okay on YouTube and not just, you know, be eaten by the algorithm. That's what this video is about. All of my Swell Slashers September costumes that I made in the month of September. First, let me take the time to tell you about our sponsor today, Hydrant. Hydration is super important, whether or not you like the taste of water. Hydrant is a science-backed wellness brand. They make a variety of products focused on hydration, performance, and mental well-being. It is designed to hydrate you better than water alone, and honestly in a way that tastes better, because I know some of you don't like the taste of water for some reason. Each packet contains 3 times the electrolytes of a sports drink. They don't use any artificial sweeteners, stevia, or synthetic coloring. Hydrant went ahead and sent me their essentials kit, which shows all of the different offers they have and the different functions they serve. Great way to see which one is best for you. You can use a glass or a water bottle. I'm gonna be using my water bottle, and you just take the packet of your choice. I'm using the Hydrant Rapid Hydration Mix and flavor Raspberry Lemonade. Shake it all up. Some of their packets focuses include hydration, immunity, and sleep. Try Hydrant's new Essentials Kit when you use my link down below and get it for just $20, which is $15 off the original price of $35. And if you use my link below, you get a water bottle. What's not to love? Again, go ahead and click the link in my description box and get $15 off your order of the Essentials Kit. Thank you again to Hydrant for sponsoring this video. I love horror movies. For those of you who don't know, okay, the start of my YouTube career on YouTube, wow. The start of my YouTube video career, I started doing Netflix horror reviews where I would just review a bunch of horror movies that were on Netflix. So I made a bunch of costumes, and originally I was gonna do 6. I ended up only doing 5. I was originally going to do Asa Emery, also known as the Collector from the Collector movies. I just ran out of time, and by ran out of time, I mean I forgot that I had that portion to do, and then I was like, crap. And I had already started Bo Sinclair, or finished Bo Sinclair, and I knew I had to do Vincent. I knew that was gonna take me time, so I decided that I was just gonna not finish my Collector mask, so sorry. This is just a fun thing. This is the dollar store Joann's Fabrics version of Slashers, and I think that's fine. So the slashers I ended up doing was Michael Myers from Halloween, Brahms heel strier from The Boy. Also spoilers for like every single movie I'm talking about, probably. Most of the movies I think I spoiled. Also Thomas Hewitt from Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, also known as Leatherface pre-face skinning. Bo and Vincent Sinclair from House of Wax. I spoil every single movie. Here's the footage of me doing that. Step 1, miscellaneous supplies. So I took my son Hermes to Joann's Fabrics. I got a piece of decor that he decided was his. For the Michael Myers mask from Rob Zombie's Halloween, I decided I was going to be doing the paper mask when he is still in the asylum as he's about to break out and go on his killing rampage on Halloween night. Lots of tearing, lots of layering. Originally, I started using sticky dots. Was not working out, so I started using hot glue.
The more I look at the mask, the more I'm realizing that it's probably made out of construction tape or it's made out of masking tape that was then like colored orange. So, artsy Michael. Do I look like I'm gonna go kill some people? Break out of an asylum? Steal someone's jumpsuit? Is it perfect? No, but it's not supposed to be. You can really tell how few slashers wear corrective eyewear because like, I mean, I think it kind of works. Fuck it up. Oh my God. Okay, so I break into your house on Halloween night. Oh my goodness. Okay, himbo, Michael Myers, is here. Okay, sorry. Murderous himbo, I should specify.
You got a serial killer. Okay, coming around. He's gonna try and eat the mask. And right before you die, you see that they have like a tiny puppy with them. Here is the other Michael Myers mask that I got. I got it from Amazon, and it looks like it came from Amazon. And it also looks like it was made for someone who just has a toe for a head. So it's not ideal. I don't know how to fix this. Like if I could just add a neck.
Here's the outfit so far. I slash in my Calvins, like doesn't have a good ring to it, you know? So we're just gonna tuck this under. Whenever my Sims are like, hey, can you give us like more edgy content? I don't think this is what they mean. Like me joking about murder. I don't think Michael would have an Apple Watch. Hold on. So the plan is to do this. Oh, get in the costume. And then take some photos for Instagram. Because that's what Swell Slasher September is all about. Oh, so obviously this is gray and not blue. I was gonna like fix my hair and then I was like, no, what's the point? I've been in an asylum, you know, like that's the whole point. And I'm being transferred and I just like kill the dude. So you see me like down your street hiding behind a bush. If I let you out, I'll be stopping around. Hermes is just mad I won't let him eat my face. Like he doesn't give a shit that I'm dressed like a killer. He doesn't care. As you can see, he's the real slasher amongst us. Here's this. I'm gonna take photos, and then I'll be back in the dirt Michael mask. If you saw me standing behind a shrub, okay, like this, you don't see the knife, just me. Would you be scared? Would you be like, oh, she's stalking me. Who is that? What's she doing later? Is it gonna be murder? Who knows? Like, what are you thinking? What would you do? You find me in your closet. What would you do? You know? God, it's hard to breathe in that thing. No wonder Michael murders people.
So I was going to do Vincent next. However, the apron that I got for Vincent, I'm also using for Himbo Leatherface Thomas Hewitt. I don't want to put wax on the apron just yet if I'm going to be doing this look for Leatherface. So I'm doing this half mask before the actual like face skinning happens, trying new things, and we're experimenting. We're just not experimenting with murder. The way I ended up doing this is I took disposable masks from COVID times and broke it apart because I knew how well it fit my face and used it as like pattern essentially for the bulk part of the mask because I knew I was going to do multiple pieces. So I cut that out. I used my measuring tape to kind of measure my head for where I wanted the straps to really go so I could figure out exactly how big to cut the fabric pieces for that. And then I started securing the mask all together, the various pieces, with hot glue. Everything is a little loose going on my head because I'd rather it be loose and be able to tighten it once everything is done than have it be too tight and then be screwed. Once I finished getting the bulk of the mask put together, I started with the stitching with the wax leather thread that I also got from Joann's, just to add some more detail to the mask itself. Hi, Bubba. He woke up from his nap. If you continue to make it through this video, you'll notice that there's a trend of when I'm able to get things done. I may shorten this bit. I ran out of thread that I cut at that point, so I mean, I'm kind of digging this so far. I may shorten the strap. And I can't for the life of me find the footage of me applying the staining to the mask to give it the more leather look, but you're gonna see it in this finished product. I look a tad bit like a poorly sized scarecrow. And I know that Thomas's shirt in the opening is more green. I ordered a green shirt. I don't know what happened. But this is more like a, it's not denim, it just looks kind of denim. So I'm thinking rolling it up and then scrunching it up. Show off those butcher arms. And now is the part where you're all gonna laugh at me if you're not already laughing at me, wherein I don't know how to tie a tie. I don't, I have no idea. Okay, this is a tie that I found at a dollar sale of a thrift store where they just have all this piles of stuff on the ground in their yard area. Fuck. Oh, that's wrong. That's not right. That's not right at all. You know, I do like that he, you know, worked at a factory, butcher plant or whatever, and he still, you know, made an effort to try and look nice. He wore a tie to work, even when he knew it was like the last day. Still tried. I like that. I like that in a man. Okay. Do I? I refuse to look up a tutorial at this point. You know what? It's fine. That's fine, because we're gonna put this over. So this is the same apron that I'm using for Vincent, but I needed to do this part first, obviously, because I'm gonna cover it in wax for the Vincent part. I feel like you guys are just slowly watching me descend into madness. Like maybe this will end with me becoming a slasher by the end of this with the lack of sleep I'm getting. I I'm actually surprised it looks this good. Can I speak out of it? Barely. Why am I giggling? I'm gonna end up cutting my toe off. I'm gonna go full Chandler Bing. Okay, Thomas Hewitt. Done. This is about to be a cannibal, not yet a cannibal. Thomas Hewitt. Definitely a murderer at this point. He killed his boss. I really like how the mask turned out, honestly. This is cutting into my face, but other than that, I had no idea how this was gonna work out. And I think it looks pretty good. Like, all things considered, considering I just painted it and then used like varnish paint on top, it looks pretty good. Haha. Okay, picture chainsaw. Also, I would look hot as shit with a chainsaw. Picture that, okay? I'm gonna go take some photos and then I'll come back to introduce you to the smelly wall man. So Brahms' mask in the movie was CGI. So I knew it was gonna be a lot of work and structure trying to figure out the best way to make this pre-made mask into Brahms ready. What I ended up doing was cutting down the forehead, cutting down the chin, shaping the sides, and the eyes were a bit wider than what I wanted for the doll-like look, so I took a piece of the cut-off plastic, hot glued them in place to kind of make the eyes look a little more round and smaller. And I figured that that would work better once everything was painted. The color of the mask fluctuated a lot because I kept layering on paint and it ended up getting darker and darker. So I ended up doing a kind of like light white wash over the top after I did some more of the detailing work, trying to lighten it a little bit. Also, do not judge my painted on eyebrows. I don't know what I'm doing. I did a lighter pink color on the lip detailing, and then I decided that I needed some more details in the mask itself. So I started doing a kind of cracked paint job. Is it perfect? No, but it's not supposed to be perfect. This is Swell Slasher September, not Great Slasher September. Okay, so I bust through a wall. I may or may not have just killed your abusive ex-boyfriend. What do you do? Brahms work in progress. So we've got the sweatpants, obviously the most comfortable slasher. He's been living in walls. He was doing the quarantining at home before it was cool, okay? So we got the suspenders. I got them way too thick. They're a bit too thick, but I think it works. And then we got the tank top, you know, and the cardigan. Oh yeah, the mask. Hold on, 1 second. Okay, sounded better in my head. Also, I have too much crap. Okay, but look how cool. Okay, could this be better? Absolutely. But you know what? The mask in the movie was CGI. He wasn't supposed to have the mask at first, okay? But the actor was too hot. It's not gonna be really scary if this super sexy wall man comes out. So they were like, okay, cool, CGI mask. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Okay, I'm having way too much fun with this. Oh God, is this creepy to you too? Because like I'm making a lot of facial expressions, but the face isn't moving and it's stressing me out just a little bit. This is like activating my fight or flight, even though it's my face. I am glad that I did the closing on the sides though, because I think it looks better. We'll be good. I was gonna try and do a British accent, and that's just not gonna happen. You are running from me in the manner of the place that you were employed at as a nanny. The doll that you thought you were taking care of, the one that you thought was like possessed with the spirit of a young boy that died in a fire, you just learned that no, it was the sweaty wall man that was living in the walls. He did everything, okay? And he just came out of the walls, killed your abusive ex. Points there, frankly. And then you were like going through the house trying to run from him because he was attacking everyone, including you. He was gonna be like, mine. Script Brahms is like feral, more feral than the movie Brahms, but still. You go upstairs and you realize, oh my God, he's been living up here. He's been watching me. There's a doll. I'm an artist, truly, because I made a doll that looks like you, the nanny that I brought, that my parents like brought to me, and then they like offed themselves, you know? So it's like, when you think about it, really, I'm the good guy, really, when you think about it. Like deep, deep down, like I was gonna give you everything. I mean, you are getting paid. You have a super nice house now. My house is beautiful, okay? They repaired a lot after the fire. Not my face, but like they repaired a lot. I'm sweating, hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, wait, one more, hold on. So no head? Okay, I'm gonna go take photos now, bye. Hermes is sleepy. He's like, why are you working, Mom? Trying to take a nap. Hi. So for House of Wax, I am doing Vincent Sinclair and Beau Sinclair. For Vincent Sinclair, I did a couple of tests to see what would work because I knew I was going to be working with wax. And so what I ended up doing was deciding that I was going to use acrylic paint first on the mask and painting the mask in details first, and then doing wax over it. And I ended up just using old concealer and then setting it with translucent powder. Okay, first off, please ignore the state of my stove. I just made 1 cup pasta and it's still new. And Hermes thinks I'm making food and he thinks it's for him. Holy shit, it's working. Okay, so this is the mask base. It's not perfect, but I think it's gonna be fine. Hermes, why are we barking? We're going in. It's actually not that much wax when you look at it. Okay. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I feel like I missed spots. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to melt more wax. This is the after effect. I don't know what happened over here, but I already started scraping it off. So it's a little messy, which I think is fine because I'm gonna go full Vincent and heat this up over a candle and smooth out the rough bits. Yeah, there's like this part over here I definitely messed up at the start and then just tried to fix it and it just was not working out. And this is where this is at. This is drying still. Looks a little sus. You know, like maybe you should call him. I don't know. That's what this looks like right now. It's like a Rorschach test, you know? What do you see besides maybe a butt cheek? A really circular, flat, small butt cheek. That came off really easily. Luckily, there's literally very little on the counter. I'm just gonna have to scrape it off a bit. Okay, again, ignore the state of my desk, but this is working surprisingly well. Yes, it still kind of looks like shit, but you know, it's working surprisingly well. I'm heating the bottom of the spoon so that it catches all the carbon from the flame itself, and then using this side to smooth shit. And honestly, it's hard doing it with one hand, but basically it's working surprisingly well. Does it look perfect? God, no, but I'm not Vincent. Did you see how Vincent was sculpting that titty? That is an artist, okay? I'm just a degenerate who really likes slashers and really wants to be cast in a slasher horror movie. Right now I'm gonna finish Beau's hat to the best of my ability. It's the Sweetbird 69 hat. I'm not painting a car on here. It's just gonna be a blob with windows. That's gonna be it. I'm not even gonna attempt to make a car because I know I can. I ended up just painting it, and honestly, I kind of like it because it looks a little dirty, and I'm sure on photos it's gonna look pretty good. Here's the update on the Sweetbird hat. Honestly, could be way worse. Is it super far over to the side? Yeah, but also, I did my best. And no one should criticize me. It is time for House of Wax. If I was flirting with you in front of your boyfriend, would you let me? That's the question. If I said, hey, why don't you just wait in the truck while I go get changed? And then I come out looking like this, okay? I've got a hat on. I've got a toolbox, okay? Your boyfriend hasn't emerged from the house yet. And you just realized that the truck that you were currently sitting in is the same truck that was being creepy as shit and stalking you and the friends the night before, which means that I'm the dude that was stalking you the night before. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Just wondering. I do feel really cool in these dickies though. They don't really fit in the waist because I've got more thighs and ass than I do waist. Look a little ridiculous, but I'm kind of digging them. I think if I had the proper belt, this would look really good, you know? Obviously I've got some props. I've got, I don't actually have pliers or cutters to remove fingers with it. You know, my person I'm basically holding hostage in my little sex dungeon underneath my mechanic shop. You know, when she's, you know, sticking her finger out trying to get attention from her brother because I obviously super glued her lips shut. Because you can just rip off duct tape. But, you know, once super glue dries, it's a little more work. You're gonna hurt yourself at the very least. So it buys me a little bit of time. However, she was able to get, you know, one hand out. So she's sticking her hand up and then I just go, and I take off a finger. Okay, so I've got some... Oh my God, my father must be concerned. I feel kind of cool. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the hat. I painted this. Like I said, I don't know, a barrel, that does not look like a car. Hang on, let me take off my glasses. I thought about leaving my hair, I don't know, should I braid my hair back? I don't know. Part of me thinks I should because obviously all of these looks have had my hair down and like all of them. Oh wait, hold on. I have to do this, hold on. He had his hair slicked back for the funeral bit, but you know, that was like part of the act. I don't think he's a scrunchy type of person. So we're just gonna do a regular old hair tie. Now imagine me with a shotgun. It's so hard to see without my glasses on. Anyway, I'm gonna take some photos as well. I'm probably gonna take some with my hair up and down just to get some variety. I mean, I think it looks kind of fun. I'm kind of digging it, you know? I really like the fans. They're really comfy. I get it now. I get the Dickies hype. I get it. Okay, so the angle's a little lower. Hang on, let me. So I ended up not adding the darker color to the wax because I didn't want it to get it. It was already starting to crack off. Like it's already it's like a corset right now. Like I can barely move it. It's just like a hard lump of wax. I once had like a fisherman's sweater that was perfect for this. I think I donated it because all I have, this is the right color, but it's not the right neckline. This is what we're working with. Okay. And I tried tucking it under and it just looked lumpy and weird. So this is Winter Vincent, who just discovered like a fashion magazine, and he heard that, you know, turtlenecks were all the rage for like protecting your neck from wax or something. Also, Vincent has his knives that are like decorative, like almost look like, I think there's a dragon detailing on them. However, I don't have that, but I do have these two Celtic designed daggers that I got off of Amazon one night when I was in a mood. I can't tell you what that mood was, but I was just like, yeah, I should have daggers for my apartment. So this is what I have. So I'm thinking like, I can't even bend like to look down. Hang on. It's cracking. Okay, work in progress. And then they also have the dog in the movie, but Hermes is a doggy daycare. He is not a part of this, unfortunately. But yeah, so here's the look. I'm just wearing jeans. I think he's wearing like brown or black pants in the movie, but you can't really tell, so I don't think it matters. Obviously, I'm gonna have the sleeves down, but the sleeves are also kind of weird. Okay, hang on. I haven't put this on my head yet in the way that I did all the others. Oh wow, this fucks up my vision so much. Jesus Christ. Sup, guys? I keep blinking thinking that I'm gonna be able to see out of my other eye, and I'm not gonna be able to. Sup, fuck. Vincent does not talk, so I mean, just a mama's boy living out mama's dreams with a big brother who treats me like I'm a dog sometimes, but I'm sure he loves me deep down. But mainly, he just wants to use me to live out his psychopathic tendencies because I'm an artist and he's just angry at everyone. Wow, this is bad for my vision. I need to get this done because, wow, this is not gonna work out. Okay, anyway, here's Vincent, House of Wax. I'm just an artist, and I think we need to celebrate artists more. Anyway, that's going to conclude all of the run-throughs of my costume. Yay! Now stay tuned for outro, Amanda. Anyway, those are all my Swell Slashers September looks. If you are following me on Instagram or Twitter, then you saw all of these already. And if you aren't following me on Twitter and Instagram, here's my accounts. Follow me. It's a good time. Sometimes I'm a hot girl. I know these are not good examples. Hermes already got to him. Little, I'm wearing my glasses still. Little messed up in the nose because Hermes decides that everything is his. Honestly, I think this one looks the best. I'm surprised how good it turned out. Interrupted a funeral for a goddamn fan belt. I had fun doing this. I always I miss doing little hobbies and just making things every once in a while. Halloween was always a time where I got to do, you know, fun things like this. And so I don't know. Are you dressing up for Halloween? What are you going to be for Halloween? What's a slasher movie that you like? And I do mean slasher movie. We're talking slasher movies. Not, is it slasher? No, it's ghost. No, slasher movies, okay? Tell me what slasher movies you like. Are there any coming out that you're looking forward to? How would you do differently my slasher looks? Tell me. Comment down below. Let me know. Reminder that I have a podcast, the Swell Shenanigans Podcast. I have merch. Go ahead and check it out down below. I may do a couple of Halloween styles. Oh, look, I did make it. We have Swell Slashers in a couple different pieces. We also have Swell Spooky Simp. But my favorite piece of merch is the Ask Me About My Mask kink. And yes, this does in fact come on a mask. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, that'll be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on my social media, that'll be all up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. What if I just redid my intro, but instead of sunglasses, I'm just ripping off all of my slasher masks? I think that could be really fucking cool, you know? I think that could be good. That's it. That's my outro. Thank you, Alan, Alexis, Braden, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty One, Dawn, Elliot, Evan, Feckles, Hopeless, Hollow, Jecker, Ray, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lamb, Lex, Lisa, Louise, Manga, Matt O, Matthew S, Eloy the Red, Michael, Mike, Jane, Nathaniel, Pat, Penn, Prolic, Rob, Robert Ross, Sam, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Andre.